a week. So yeah, I think we're good.
I'm going to
We're
see if
good
I
on
can get
my
my
end.
headset to work.
We tested the call with the
testimony, the testifier, so.
Good. Can you hear me, Sherry?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Rebecca, I just pinned you first and it was like, just you. Now, Jane.
I mean, your screen lit up with beauty.
Yeah, no,
That's what
the
you meant
bright
to say,
yellow
right?
flowers, very summery. I really appreciated it. Yes.
Thank you.
Got Sherry and Mr. Tolbert. Yang. Just got my headset on right before we started. It was.
I'm just going to check for an echo. I'm not getting an echo. Are you guys?
All right, Sherry. And I know we have 3 suspension items.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
They're right before legislative hearings.
And can you tell me the order? I know we have the park lease, the DSI license, and
so first is the park lease. I figured because it'd be right next to the other one.
Oh, okay,
and then,
that's perfect.
And then second is the Iron Range, and
Okay,
then third is the ordinance.
The ordinance that we messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one is the rezoning on Dale.
Yes.
And that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that's 1. So 1, 2, and then third is rezoning. Okay. Okay. Well, that is good. Let's see. Ms. Jalali. Yeah, this has been a messy meeting, even though it's fairly straightforward. It's like sometimes.
Okay. Oh, it's already messy?
Yeah, just it's actually like human error, scrivener error, like with dates and things that just didn't get published right. And it's all pretty straightforward, but all right. So, all right. I think we have a crew here. And with that, I will call the St. Paul City Council meeting to order. Roll call.
Tolbert.
Here.
Yang.
Here.
Jalali.
Here.
Naker.
Here.
Prince.
Here.
Tao. Council President Brenmon.
Here.
6 in favor, 1 excused, being Councilmember Tao, who is excused.
Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda items 4 through 18 are before you for your consideration.
All right, so we will be removing item number 8 and item number 16 for separate consideration. Should anything else come off consent? All right, seeing none, Ms. Yang moves to the balance of the consent agenda. Any discussion? Roll call.
Tolbert.
Yes.
Yang.
Aye.
Jalali.
Aye.
Naker.
Aye.
Prince.
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The consent agenda is adopted as amended. Item number 8, Resolution 21-720, seeking recommendation from the Charter Commission to amend Chapter 6.03 of the City Charter pertaining to the imposition of civil penalties for violations of city ordinances.
All right, and Ms. Prince, I believe you requested this one off consent, so I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Council President Brenmoen. And the reason I wanted to call our attention to it is that this is moving forward to the Charter Commission. It's a change in our city's charter, which is the city's constitution. And the administration has done an excellent job of holding community forums and responding to lots and lots of questions that I have had about this proposal. And I look forward to the Charter Commission process. And I also, just by way of this, am encouraging the Charter Commission to consider having a public hearing or two. And with that, I will move approval.
Great. Okay, so Ms. Prince moves approval on item 8. Is there any discussion on that motion? And just procedurally, I think Ms. Prince outlined this, but we are sending it to the commission. They will look at it and come back, vote, make a recommendation to the council, and then at that time, the council will vote on its final recommendation and language to change our charter. So this will begin a process that will take a few months, and I know this has been in the works for quite a while. And I think one of the things that has been reassuring to all of us is that we're requesting the authority to do administrative fines, and that the decision of how to use that authority and to what level we'll use that authority is something that council will control when it writes ordinances and in the future, and retrofitting the ones that we've already passed. I know with minimum wage or sick and safe conversion therapy, where we're holding in waiting for this, but those things will all be looked at separately. So we're just getting the authority, not unlike Minneapolis and Duluth and other large cities. So we took a motion from Ms. Prince, no discussion beyond what I said. So we'll have a roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 16, Resolution 21-760, recognizing May 2021 as Jewish American Heritage Month and honoring the contributions of Jewish Americans to St. Paul.
Ms. Naker.
Thanks, Council President, and thanks so much to all of my colleagues for being willing to co-sponsor this resolution with me today. It is really an honor to bring forward this resolution honoring the month of May and recognizing it as Jewish American Heritage Month in the city of St. Paul. As a Jewish resident of St. Paul myself, I have always been very proud of our city's history of being a place where Jews were not only welcomed, but were able to truly thrive. And St. Paul has been remarkable for its openness toward Jews, even in decades when open and virulent anti-Semitism was really the norm in many parts all across the country, and especially in our neighboring city to the west. In fact, I remember reading a great anecdote in Claiming the City by Mary Wingert, which is a wonderful history of St. Paul. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it, in which she sums up the difference between Minneapolis and St. Paul's responses to the Jewish community by talking about how in the 1920s, Jews were banned from membership in the Minneapolis Automotive Club at the same time as a Jewish man was the president of the St. Paul Automotive Club. And so I think that tradition of openness and inclusivity, not only to Jews, but to people from every corner of the world, has really made our city the thriving and connected place that it is today. And on that note, and in closing, I actually want to thank and acknowledge my colleague, Councilmember Yang, because as you might have noticed, even though I've been on the council more than 5 years, and I've been Jewish for a lot longer than that, this is actually the first time that I'm bringing forward a Jewish American Heritage Month resolution, and I was inspired to do so after talking to Councilmember Yang a couple of weeks ago. She had contacted me about her resolution in honor of Hmong Day and was asking me to co-sponsor, which I was very happy to do. And she just happened to mention towards the end of our conversation, she said, and I'd love to co-sponsor a resolution with you on Jewish American Heritage Month. And that comment just made me feel so valued and so connected, and it really was what encouraged me to bring forward this resolution. And I was thinking about it afterward and thinking that teeny episode just says so much about the power of honoring our differences in a strong, pluralistic, diverse community. Because when you honor and celebrate your identity, you really become more open and aware of the identities of those all around you. So thank you to Councilmember Yang, and thank you to my colleagues for support. I will just read the final 2 lines of this resolution. Whereas Jewish Americans and their families have built lives in St. Paul for well over 150 years and have played essential parts in the civic and community life of our city, now therefore be it resolved that the St. Paul City Council recognizes May as Jewish American Heritage Month and expresses its appreciation for the many contributions that Jewish Americans have made to the city of St. Paul. And I move approval.
Great. A beautiful month you have chosen. All right, so Ms. Naker has moved approval. Any discussion, Ms. Yang?
Thanks, Council President. I am speaking in support of the resolution here and wanted to really uplift you, Councilmember Naker, as a leader who is always bringing along your people and your Jewish American heritage. And it's something that I truly honor, being a Hmong American daughter and knowing how important it is for me to always bring a piece of myself to the table and also my people too. And I feel that we are in a city so abundant and rich in history, culture, also built, through the stories and also the pain and trauma of immigrants and refugees. And we're also continuing to build a city and also a future in which all people belong. And a resolution like this is only a small snippet of it, but it is very, very meaningful. And so I fully support this and really look forward to partnering with you on so many more issues and items too.
Great. Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Bredmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item number 19 is a staff report regarding Youth on Boards cohort program.
Ms. Naker.
Thanks so much, Council President. I am really excited to have this report. I reached out to Eric Skold, who is the director of our Sprockets program, our after school youth network, a few months ago now, and just said, Eric, is there anything going on that we should know about in our work to constantly make St. Paul the best possible city for kids in the entire world? And Eric said, well, as a matter of fact, there is. We are doing this amazing project to get more young people represented on boards and commissions in the city of St. Paul. And I thought, well, that's something that I think would all want to know about. So welcome, Eric. I'll turn it over to you and your team.
Well, thank you so much, Councilmember Necker. We're really excited to present to you all today and grateful for the opportunity. And I'm just going to share a few slides and actually turn it over to Deputy Director Prosser to kick us off. Oh, whoops. It moved on.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Council President Bredmon and members of the City Council. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to be here with you today to virtually to share with you a new program initiative that we're launching this summer. Right now, we are calling it the Youth on Boards Initiative. Our young folks may have something to say about that, so if the name changes, excuse us. Our city has a history of listening to the voices of youth. The St. Paul Youth Commission was created about 15 years ago and has been a valuable resource for the city. Several of you have partnered with the Youth Commission or sought out their input as you've contemplated decisions that impact the city or your ward. Similarly, a little over a year ago, Mayor Carter was visiting with our commissioners, and they were having a particularly heavy discussion about the impact of crime and violence in our community. And the youth were making recommendations to the mayor for violence reduction strategies. At the end of the meeting, the mayor, challenged the youth to bring back a recommendation for how we could infuse youth voice into more decision-making processes. And this Youth on Board initiative is really the culmination of that work. We have a great team today that will get into the details for you, including a few of our Right Track interns. But before I hand the presentation over to Shayna Abraham, our Parks and Recreation Program Supervisor who leads Right Track and the St. Paul Youth Commission, I wanted to share with you a comment that I heard from one of our youth commissioners at their year-end celebration earlier this week. As you may know, there were 2 St. Paul Youth Commissioners who were appointed to the Community First Public Safety Commission that was tasked with providing the mayor and city council recommendations that would re-envision emergency response in St. Paul. Our young folks were honored to be part of that group, and in a final report, one of the commissioners shared with us that she was so proud to be part of a group that was making decisions about public safety and policing in our city. She indicated that she knew it may take some time, but the changes that they were recommending would have a significant impact on our community. So I'm hoping this initiative will expand that youth voice into more decisions that our city is making, and I'll turn it over to Shayna now. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President and Council members. Thank you, Erica. I'm Shayna Abraham. I use she, her pronouns, and as Erica said, I'm the supervisor for Right Track and the St. Paul Youth Commission. The Youth on Boards initiative is a collaboration between Mayor Carter's office, parks, and libraries with staff from Right Track, the Youth Commission, and Sprockets leading the work. This initiative helps build a St. Paul that works for all, both now and in the future. Now by ensuring young people are involved in decision-making for the city, and in the future by preparing young people for careers in city government. Over the past year, the team you'll hear from today has engaged with a variety of stakeholders, from young people to the mayor, to put together a program that involves young people in city government as both residents and employees. By working together, we are able to maximize our resources to build a program that addresses multiple obstacles in St. Paul, including the need to have boards, commissions, and a workforce that represents the residents of St. Paul. For too long, we have relied on the voices of dominant culture to dictate how decisions are made and work gets done. Our community needs fresh ideas and new voices. We are excited to provide a platform to help young people enter the public sphere to share their experiences and shape decisions. Today, you'll hear from 3 Right Track interns who work with Sprockets, Chia Tao, Celine Mohammed, and Uba Omar, as well as the primary staff who will be implementing the initiative this summer and next school year, Aisha Mohammed and Mua Zhang, and Noel Nix from Mayor Carter's office. Thank you for your time today, and up next is Chia.
So why should youth be on boards? Youth bring their own perspectives, passion, and energy onto city boards and commissions. They also diversify policy decision makers to reflect the diversity of our city, and the skills that youth learn through Youth on Boards and Right Track will guide them through future careers in St. Paul and beyond.
Hi, my name is Celine. So why youth on boards, the impact on youth? So there's a lack of opportunities that allow youth to take part in decision making, and there's also a need and desire for youth to get involved within the community and to make an impact. So within the city of St. Paul, there aren't as many opportunities to be able to use their voice to create change. So this initiative would allow youth to take charge, since youth are the future leaders of the world, and for them to create meaningful impacts for our city. There's also, it would help them improve their leadership, communication, and other beneficial skills. And these skills are useful so the youth can use them for future careers, and as well for them to learn more about themselves. And also would help youth to be more conscious of our issues in the community and job experiences and exposure to city careers as well. So they'll be able to be more aware of the things that happen within our city and how we can create change as a whole.
Program overview, how it will work. The Youth on Board will hire 22 YJ2 interns to Right Track. And then the interns will go through a summer academy that will prepare and train the YJ2 intern to be ready to be placed on boards and commissions at the end of the summer. We will provide trainings for the interns, such as Robert's Rule of Order. We will host Q&A sessions with current commissioners and board members, and help the interns learn how boards and commissions work. In addition to that, the interns will also explore the different types of careers the City of St. Paul has to offer. We will do Q&A sessions with different city departments. We are hoping to do job shuttles with different city employees working in different departments. And most importantly, it is our goal to create an intentional space for our interns to network and learn more about their career interests and see where they may fit in the long run. And at the end of the summer academy, the young people will be paired up and to be placed on different boards and commission.
Just quickly before we move on, Mr. Zhang, could you please introduce yourself for the record? I know we did get introductions from Chia and Celine, but I know who you are, but I don't think you shared your name and position for the record.
Yes, I can definitely do that. Thank you very much, Council President Ramon. My name is Mo Zhang. I am the St. Paul Youth Commission Program Coordinator. My preferred pronouns are he, his, him.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Aisha Mohammed and I will be the Communication and Youth Engagement Coordinator. I'll continue to explain how the program will look like. So transitioning from summer training and job shadowing to serve on their respective boards and commissions, the school year will be a time for the voices of the 22 Right Track interns to be put into practice. 2 youth members will be placed on 11 boards and commissions, where they'll have an active voice in St. Paul's decision-making process. With the tools and resources from summer training, they'll be able to demonstrate civic engagement skills alongside opportunities to showcase leadership, their problem-solving abilities, and critical thinking in order to best represent themselves in the encompassing youth population in St. Paul. Furthermore, these youth representatives will be active members, bringing forth their multifaceted backgrounds and experiences. Their service on these boards and commissions will create foundational youth voices in the city and open doors to their future changemakers. Youth representatives will also be given ongoing training and space to reflect and come together with their peers. And in my role as Communication and Youth Engagement Coordinator, continue to provide logistical support throughout the school year. This model will be repeated and expanded in the upcoming years with increased youth voice and representation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Uba, and I'm a Sprockets intern. As for where we are now with the timeline, so for the Youth on Board timeline, so far youths have already gone through phase 1, which is applying through Right Track, as well as going through the interview selection phase, in which they were now already selected, by now have already been selected for the summer training that will be done through Right Track as a job position, in which the training will be for them to be prepared so that they can be able to better serve in the boards that they will be serving during their school year commitment. So.
And good afternoon. My name is Noel Nix. I'm the Director of Community Initiatives in Mayor Carter's office, and I use he, him pronouns. So I have listed here some of the initial committees that we're looking at actually appointing, having the mayor appoint young people to with the consent of the council. We are starting with, you can see it's heavy on a lot of our advisory committees, which are really a great opportunity to dig into a lot of the challenges that are facing our community. We envision that for the most part we'll be able to have the youth directly serve in an appointment. In a couple cases it may look more like an internship where they're working closely with appointees, and as we move ahead into the years to come, we're going to be working with department staff to look at bylaw changes as well as potentially some ordinance changes to make sure that we are structurally building in opportunities for young people to serve.
Is that the end?
That is the end. Thank you.
Awesome. The only thing that's bad about having a PowerPoint presentation is that you may not get to have the opportunity to see the faces of the council members that I could see a little bit on the bar, and everybody had huge smiles on their faces. And I think it's just a credit to the work here, the presentation style, and also just I love the thoughtfulness behind why we're doing this and how we're going to do it, and it's just great. But I was keeping my eye on my colleagues and wishing that you could all see everyone's big smiles because you can see a ton of support here in the room. So this is a staff report and presentation, and I appreciate seeing the timeline. Is there any discussion or input from council members at this time? Ms. Yang and then Ms. Naker.
Thanks, Council President. As a young person myself, I am really excited about this and wanted to express my full gratitude to all of you for really shaping this initiative moving forward.
Great. Ms. Naker.
Thanks, Council President. I could not agree more. It would have been so wonderful to have an opportunity like this when I was a much younger person. And I'm just so excited about the future of our boards and commissions. If our young people have an opportunity to be on them, to serve on them, to know how to interact in that space, it's just going to be so powerful in the future. So thank you so much for coming up with this great idea.
Ms. Prince and then Mr. Tolbert.
And thank you, Council President Brenmone. I join my colleagues in congratulating all of you on this great initiative. I look forward to working with you. And, one of the things that you quickly find out is that as young people, your ideas are as good or better than those of us that are sitting in these positions, and you will make a difference. And I can't thank you enough for stepping up.
Mr. Tolbert.
Thank you. I want to echo my colleagues' comments, and as a former young person, I want to say continue to be involved and keep being involved now and continue to be involved throughout your life. We need you guys, and keep pushing us. And thank you for your participation at a young age. It's much better than I was when I was a young person back in those days. So thank you.
And I would just add that the one thing that really stuck out to me is the idea of exposing young people to potential career ideas and opportunities in the city. I think that over the past 30 years, one of the many parts of government that's been, I think, kind of mistreated is government service. And it is a wonderful career with many, many opportunities. And I will never forget when we learned, I think the Chamber of Commerce did a presentation to us, and government service wasn't even one of the top 10 jobs that people who lived in the city of St. Paul did for a career. And it just struck me as strange with our county and our state and our city government, and not to mention, the university, it's the college, U of M, and other places that are public service as well, that we should really be building a St. Paul pipeline into government jobs. So I love that is the board's piece is extraordinary, and I echo my colleagues' sentiments there. And then also just really excited to be intentional about the jobs piece of it, because we need great people in these roles, and our city's employees should look like the city residents. Ms. Ying's hand up, back up.
Yeah, thank you. I just had another quick thing to add too, because what you said really resonated with me. For other young folks in the room here, I'm sure you always face ageism where you go, and especially in systems of government or just the systems that we live in, that is something so deeply rooted in it. And I really see this as a way to start actually shaping the future that we want to live in, which we know young people, they are so valuable to the community. And when we look at the different racial movements around climate justice or racial justice as well, gender justice, young people are at the front line of that, and really being bold about the lived experiences and the deep oppression that they lived through. And so I see this being so deeply connected to that, and just can't express enough how exciting this work is. And so we'd love to be a partner in that. And if you all have thoughts on what that looks like as well, feel free to share.
thank you. Ms. Prince, is your hand up or back up?
Sorry about that. I left it up.
That's okay. So always never want to assume that it's by accident. So it's better to check. All right. Well, thank you for the wonderful and inspiring presentation here today. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much to the whole crew. It was wonderful. Excited to hear how things turn out.
Item number 20, resolution public hearing 21-70, amending the city's capital improvement budget and operating budget to reflect the final sale details resulting from the issuance of the GEO Various Purpose and Refunding Bonds Series 2021A, the GEO Street Reconstruction and Refunding Bonds Series 2021B, the GEO Temporary Tax Increment Bonds Series 2021C, and the GEO Library Refunding Bonds Series 2021D.
All right, and the public hearing on this item has been held virtually, and just reiterating, this is just a amendment that we do on these bonds that reflect the final sales details. It's a procedural actions. Let's see, Mr. Tolbert moves approval. Moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 21, resolution public hearing 21-72, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program Millen Overlay, Arlington Avenue.
And this public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Yang would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 22, resolution public hearing 21-79, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program Millen Overlay Downtown Project Area.
And just a reminder that last year we deferred a lot of assessments to this year because of the pandemic. So we are going to be going through quite a few ratifying assessments. I'm sharing that just with the folks who are tuning in and watching this, and with my colleagues, that this was a deferred assessment ratification from COVID. On this item, the public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Naker would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 23, resolution public hearing 21-80, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program Millen Overlay Eustis Street.
And this matter public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye. Sorry.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 24, resolution public hearing 21-81, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program Millen Overlay Mississippi River Boulevard.
All right, and this public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 25, Resolution Public Hearing 21-82, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program, Mill and Overlay, Territorial Avenue.
And this public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali, Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 26, Resolution Public Hearing 21-83, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program, Mill and Overlay, Cromwell Avenue.
And this public hearing's been held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 27, Resolution Public Hearing 21-84, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program, Mill and Overlay, Suburban Avenue.
All right, and this public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali, Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, none opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 28, Resolution Public Hearing 21-85, ratifying the assessment for the 2020 Street Maintenance Service Program, Mill and Overlay, Downtown.
And this public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 29, Resolution Public Hearing 21-114, amending the financing and spending plans of the Department of Public Works, Capital and Operating Budgets for the 2019 Como and Johnson Trail projects.
All right, and this public hearing was held virtually. As such, where is the Johnson Trail? I don't know. Does anyone know? I'm looking. I don't know where the Johnson Trail is. While Ms. Jalali would move to close a public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item number 30, Resolution Public Hearing 21-116, amending the 2019 capital improvement budget in the amount of $32,000 to accept additional financing from the Sena Foundation to fund city staff time for project supervision and construction improvements of the field space at the Conway Recreation Center.
And this public hearing has been held virtually, so Ms. Prince would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince, Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 31, Resolution Public Hearing 21-119, amending the financing and spending plan of the public library in the amount of $1,017,346 to utilize available capital maintenance and CIB contingency funds for emergency and related cornice, water infiltration, and stone repair at the George Latimer Central Library.
And this public hearing has been held virtually. It's every 10 years we talk about cornices. Corni. I don't know what the plural of cornices is. And it is at the George Latimer Library. So Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince, I believe you're unmuted, Councilmember.
Oh, I'm not unmuted. I'm not muted, I
We
mean.
can hear,
Can you
yeah,
Hear me now?
I just didn't hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 32, Resolution Public Hearing 21-121, approving adverse action against a cigarette tobacco license held by Mahdi LLC, doing business as East Market Grocery and Tobacco at 913 Payne Avenue.
And I believe we have a staff report on this item. Correct?
Yes.
Ms. Mormon?
Ms. Garda.
Ms. Garda. Ms. Garda.
Thank you, Council President Brenmo and members of Council. Teresa Scarda on behalf of the Department of Safety and Inspections. This is a request from the department to approve adverse action against the cigarette tobacco license held by Mahdi LLC, doing business as East Market Grocery and Tobacco at 1913 Payne Avenue in St. Paul. On the notice of violation and request for upward departure to a $1,000 matrix penalty was sent to the licensee on April 16th, 2021. The notice was based on a complaint inspection that happened on March 3rd of 2021, where a DSI inspector observed and documented with photos that are attached to your file a large quantity of different types of flavored tobacco products, as well as prepackaged drug kits, which were a small glass pipe packaged in a plastic baggie with copper and a lighter. Due to the amount of flavored tobacco products and the prepackaged kits found, the Department of Safety and Inspection requested an upward departure on the matrix penalty scale to a $1,000 fine. And the licensee did receive the notice and responded with a request for a hearing before council. And I believe that date of the response was April 29th.
Thank you. Are there questions for Ms. Scarda? And I believe you mentioned that there are people here to testify on this matter. Ms. Scarda?
Yes, there are.
Okay, so, and no. Yep, Ms. Mormon.
Council President, we have on the line Abbas Oghis, who's the license holder, and his uncle speaking in support, Ahmad Jafari.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
We're okay. You're testifying at the St. Paul City Council. If you'd like to start by introducing yourself and letting us know where you live, then you can share your perspective on this recommendation for an upward departure on this matter.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Oghis, we can hear you.
Yeah, so my name is Abbas Agla, and I'm living in Fridley. My house is 1024 Rice Terrace, Fridley, Minnesota 55432.
Thank you. And would you like to share your perspective here today?
Yeah, and then the sector coming to my store and they said there's a rob leaf, but I went to dealer tobacco and I asked him if I can sell it in my store. He told me, yes, you can sell it inside your store. And I have receipt and everything. And when I applied for my tobacco license, they not give me like paper or book. I can't sell that. I can't sell that. So I have nothing. But when the inspector come in, I called him and I talked to him and he sent me paper. Which one did I allow to sell? Which one did I can't sell inside the store? And this is my first time.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Can you please introduce yourself and then share your perspective?
Yes, my name is Ahmed Jafri. Abbas is my nephew, and he put me online just to help him interpret, if there isn't some issues.
Okay. Do any council members have questions for the license holders at the East Market Grocery? Ms. Yang.
Thanks. I'm trying to clarify, are you here to support the upward departure? Can you specify that? Or maybe can the
Hello,
staff specify? Because you said that they're here to support it, right?
These are the owners of the property, and maybe Ms. Mormon or yeah, can we get some clarification on what is the request or the what is the request of the license holder at East Market Grocery?
Yeah, he's trying to see if you guys can you avoid the ticket from his license, So is there any way we can avoid it, or just because it's first time, and he claims it's not his fault,
So you're requesting to go ahead, sir.
Yes. Requesting to avoid the tickets he got, So he's trying to see, because he claims it's not his fault, and he's trying to see, he's trying to come with some resolve the problem,
Thank you. Ms. Yang.
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions? All right. Seeing none, Ms. Yang would move to close the public hearing. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang. Council President, I have a question for you. Sorry, I didn't realize we were going right into the roll call.
We're just going to close the public hearing.
Okay, got it. Yes, thank you.
Then at least that item of business is taken care of, and then we can deliberate on the outcome. All right. So Ms. Yang moves to close the public hearing. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed.
Ms. Yang.
Thanks. I saw somewhere in one of the documents from, maybe it was like the city attorney or one of the staff, if they're interested in basically getting the entire violation out of the way, like aren't they supposed to go back to the administrative law judge? Because they're here to basically oppose the speak in opposition to the upward departure. I just want to make sure they understand, like the people who are testifying, they understand their options.
Yeah. Thank you for that clarifying question. Ms. Scarda, can you clarify what is in front of us and what are the options for the license holders today?
Certainly, Council President Brenmon, members of council, the licensees were sent a notice of violation that laid out a number of choices. They could do nothing and the matter would come before you on the consent agenda for imposition of the penalty. They could pay the penalty and that would be deemed admission of the violation. They could ask for a hearing before you all, a public hearing like they have done, and say they admit the violation, but that they have some kind of a justification to ask for a lower penalty, or they could ask for an administrative hearing, at which they could present their facts and their side, and then it would come back before your honors or the council with findings and recommendations from the administrative law judge. It's my understanding that this licensee chose option 3, which is a public hearing. It's also my understanding that the licensee spoke with the Department of Safety and Inspections prior to selecting item 3 to have a public hearing and ask for a lower penalty or for no penalty. And what I'm hearing the licensee saying, and perhaps this can be clarified, but I'm hearing him say, I'm not hearing him say he's disputing the facts. I'm hearing him say it wasn't his fault. You know, this certainly was there, but it wasn't his fault. I know the department engages in extensive tobacco education in the flavored area, and that their materials they use are both written, but also pictures with large X's or green, check marks that this is okay. So that's what I can tell you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But do we need to confirm at all if that is what the testifier if that is their understanding of it? Because I'm just trying to figure out, are they disputing the facts? And I want to get that answer right, straight, so that we can move forward with voting if we have to do that today.
Council President Brenmo and Council Member Yang, I can only tell you what I heard, and I heard the licensee saying it wasn't his fault. I didn't hear him saying that he didn't have flavored products there.
Okay. All right. Well, I do feel we should move forward with the vote then. So, should we do discussion now then?
Well, is there a motion to approve the adverse action as recommended by the city attorney's office? So we can discuss the motion, if that is what you are proposing.
Can you ask your question again? Or can you state that again? Sorry, I just have like so much going on right now.
Yeah. No, I understand. And honestly, I don't know if you need or want time, we can also lay the matter over, but we can discuss a motion. I was curious if your motion was to approve the adverse action that was recommended by the city attorney's office, or if you had a different proposal that you would like to present the council to discuss.
I'd like to motion for us to approve the upward departure.
Okay, so there has been a motion. Any discussion on that motion? Ms. Yang.
Thanks. So I did get a chance to look at the report from the staff, and I'd like to say thank you to them for being so detailed about it and also providing images as well. I'm glad I did spend a lot of time looking into it, because the more that I did, it just really sparked a lot of things for me. Like, one, it is apparent that the business owner did violate our ordinance. And it was also really infuriating as well to see that happen. This happened in the East Side community, where we know that there is the people who live here are experiencing such high levels of income disparities and social issues. And it's really, really upsetting. And when I think about business owners and people who are here in our community, we should be a community that is here lifting each other up and supporting each other. And this goes against that so much. And I know that it's not that we have an ordinance that is here being completely punitive, just up front. There are many restorative action steps that have been taken to really correct what has happened. And so I just wanted to really name how irresponsible the business owners are, and that if you were here, I would be looking at you and I would be saying to you that you really need to step up, and you really need to have a higher standard for yourself and for our entire East Side community, because you are a part of our community and you are having a grocery store here, which is to serve people. And this is more, to me, this is more than just a conversation around profit as the business owner. This is about us building a community that cares for each other, and you have a role to play in that. So I will be supporting the recommendation from the staff, and I want this to be a moment in which you choose to make a change that is better, not just for yourself, but for all of us.
Thank you, Ms. Yang, and I will speak in support of your motion 100% and just say that I want to hear business owners say, it is my fault. I will take responsibility and I will do better. So I appreciate your strong words in regards to how these actions connect to our community, and I will support your motion. Any other discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 33, Resolution Public Hearing 21-122, approve the application of Pangea World Theater for a sound level variance in order to present live amplified music or sound, on May 21st, 22nd, and 23rd at 1415 Mississippi River Boulevard, South, Hidden Falls Regional Park.
And this public hearing was held virtually. As such, Mr. Tolbert moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 34, Resolution Public Hearing 20-88, ratifying the assessment for the 2019 Street Maintenance Service Program Mill and Overlay Downtown Streets. Sorry, that's where it ends. There's a lot in prints I was trying to cover.
My eyes were following, looking for the next word. All right, so this public hearing was held virtually. So Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 35, Resolution Public Hearing 20-89, ratifying the assessment for the 2019 Street Maintenance Service Program Mill and Overlay, St. Clair Avenue from Fairview to Snelling.
All right, and this item has held a public hearing virtually. As such, Mr. Tolbert will move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 36, Resolution Public Hearing 20-90, ratifying the assessment for the 2019 Street Maintenance Service Program Mill and Overlay, Cleveland Avenue from Yorkshire to Mississippi River Boulevard.
I quick shut off my mic because I thought I was going to sneeze, but it's still there. Let's see. So, so this public hearing has been held virtually. And as such, Mr. Tolbert will move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 37, Resolution Public Hearing 20-91, ratifying the assessment for the 2019 Street Maintenance Service Program Mill and Overlay, Pascal Street from University to St. Anthony.
All right, and this public hearing was held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali would move to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 38, Resolution Public Hearing 20-92, ratifying the assessment for the 2019 Street Maintenance Service Program Mill and Overlay Pryor Avenue from Summit to I-94.
All these I'm trying to guess. I think this one is Ms. Jalali. So this item has been, public hearing has been held virtually. As such, Ms. Jalali moves to close the public hearing and approve. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 39, Resolution Public Hearing 21-62, approving a lease agreement and parkland diversion for the city to lease a portion of city-owned property known as Pigs Eye Regional Park to the Board of Water Commissioners to use for soils recycling and storage.
All right, and this item has been laid over for a vote today, and I understand there's a version 2 in Legistar. Ms. Yang, would you like to discuss version 2? So we can, and we'll just vote on version 2 when it comes time for a vote. So would you like a staff report, or would you like to share version 2?
I'd like to say my comments, and then if we can, I'll pass it over to Director Hom, and then we'll wrap up with Pat from the St. Paul Regional Water Services, and we can do the vote after. Does that work?
Okay, that's great. And I will
Okay.
just, one thing I will just add before you make your comments is that there was a second item that was laid over in tandem with this that will be coming in under suspension. So and it was simply a scrivener's error. And so if people are looking for that item, or if it's referenced, it is coming in under suspension immediately following this item. But it was inputted, it was, the will of the council was to hear it today, and that is how it was noticed, but it was not put onto Legistar. So apologies for that on our end, and but that item will be coming immediately following this resolution public hearing. Ms. Yang.
Thanks, Council President. I'd like to say thank you to my colleagues for supporting a 4-week layover on this agenda item. It really gave us time to dig a bit deeper into this agenda item and make it meaningful. I'd also like to say thank you to Councilmember Prince, you being the council member also in Ward 7, the east side of St. Paul. I really enjoyed being able to tag team this and get to learn more about your constituents and how deeply they treasure Pigs Eye Park and their vision for it as well. And I really hope that through this, we are able to further support their vision and make all of those, the dreams and hopes that they have come into fruition long term. And I like to say thanks to Director Hom and Pat from Director Hom from St. Paul Public Parks and St. Paul Parks and Rec, and then also Pat from the St. Paul Regional Water Services. It's really been great being able to work with you, and I really appreciate your expertise and your flexibility in being able to have deeper conversations around this. I know that we have had hard conversations, but also very fruitful and rich conversations as well. And it's why I am even more proud to be able to bring this in front of my colleagues in the council here, because I truly do feel proud about what we are presenting. And we all took a lot of time to put together a more meaningful proposal, because we really owe it to the people in the east side to really bring equity into this work. And I know that for all of them, they really raised real concerns around this, and I hope that even though we won't be able to make every single person happy, I know that we are going to be walking out of this with even more wins for the east side community, and also with more resources as well to invest in projects for our east side communities. And so I'd really like to name some of the big key items from our proposal here that I'm really celebrating and also wanting to name, because it really addresses the concerns brought up by people in the east side, and also even people who don't live in the east side as well, but who really care about Pigs Eye Park. As the resolution sponsor, we laid over the item for 4 weeks, again, so that the Water Board and Parks and Rec, they can clarify and improve the benefits of the agreements to the east side. and the additional time has been very beneficial. I am really supportive of the updated agreements, which include additional benefits and clarified agreement language. In the new lease here, you'll see that we included a new public access to over 2 acres of land that's adjacent to the Hillcrest development site. And I am really excited to have more conversations with people in the east side about what we can use this site for, because knowing that it is adjacent to the Hillcrest golf course, which we are already doing a lot of planning development for, there have already been so many ideas coming in about what we want to see there, from community gardening to more green space for families to be able to convene and children to play. And I really want to make sure that what we utilize this for is rooted in the community's wants and needs. We also will see in the new lease agreement here a reduction of the land at Pig's Eye that will be leased by St. Paul Regional Water Services from St. Paul Parks and Rec, a reduction in the overall lease term at Pig's Eye, and ability for the city to terminate early should a higher and better use materialize. And this is something this is one of the points I really want to emphasize on, because in the very beginning, as you all recall, the lease agreement was for 30 years. And this was one of the top concerns that were brought up by our constituents. And we will also see in the new lease agreement more defined expectations for investment in Pig's Eye resulting from the lease agreement, based on which the public should immediately see the establishment of a defined parking and access area. Also, the advancement of a schematic design for the overall park development. When this schematic design is established, we will know what we want to do and where we want to do it, allowing funding pursuit to advance. So this is really significant for our East Side community, and I want to name that it's really important that in this lease agreement, the community that benefits from it, it's like all of us in St. Paul, one, because we are the ones who have access to the soil recycling center that is going to be there at Pig's Eye Park. And when we have water main breaks, then we also get those issues resolved a lot quicker as well and more effectively. But it's also important that because the soil recycling center will be at Pig's Eye Park, that our East Side community also benefits directly from the lease agreement as well. And we can see clearly that the over 2 acres of land adjacent to Hillcrest is going to be a direct benefit to our East Side community. And so with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Director Hom to speak.
Thank you, Council President Brenmo, council members. I appreciate that introduction, and I think Council Member Yang covered the majority of what could be the details of staff presentation. I will try to back up just a bit and to explain that the agreement before the City Council is a lease agreement of parkland from Parks and Recreation to the Board of Water Commissioners at Pig's Eye. It will allow them to do some maintenance operations down there. And the resolution calls out specifically parkland diversion, which is required by the charter. And it specifies how we are going to approach that, working with the Board of Water Commissioners in order to accommodate this use and have it all happen in a way that's consistent with our rules and with the city charter. Although the Board of Water Commissioners, the Water Utility, and Parks and Recreation are both local government agencies and have a lot of overlap. And I've heard from this council at my budget presentations the expectation that we work with the other departments to just practice good government and cooperation. The charter specifically calls out that we need to have specific compensation when there's use of parkland, and trade-offs for providing additional parkland, so that is all part of what's in front of the council right now. And I do appreciate the time that's been afforded to us, the patience from the council, from Councilmember Yang, from the full council, from the Board of Water Commissioners and the community to allow us to get here. So I don't know if I'm able to share my screen at some point, but I want to show a couple maps really quickly. But I do want to highlight in the resolution and the lease document the changes quickly that Councilmember Yang referenced. First, in the resolution, version 2 in Legistar introduces the Hillcrest Reservoir property to the discussion. Was the Hillcrest map popping up? I couldn't tell.
Yep, we could see it for just a moment there.
All right, I'm sorry. It on my screen it was showing a Public Works presentation, so I'm just going to go with it.
Yep.
If the Hillcrest map is up on the right side of my screen, if you can see the cursor, or if you can see my cursor, that's the Hillcrest Golf Course or development property. The water utility property is right in the middle of the screen. You can see the reservoir, which looks like a closely mown area and a shape around it. That would be a portion of the property that would be made available for us to work with the community and develop as parkland. So we're very excited about this. The resolution calls that out and says, in terms of satisfying parkland diversion, this is the first property we would look to. It also makes the entire, because the city council is acting on this prior to the Board of Water Commissioners approving a lease for this, it also makes the agreement between the water utility and Parks and Recreation contingent on this lease being executed. So if for some reason we don't execute this lease, we will not have an agreement with the water utility at Pig's Eye. Moving on to the changes in the agreement, if the updated agreement is also in Legistar, and if folks are following along, Article 2 in the agreement specifically references shortening the term from what was upwards of 50 years to 20 years. The thought process being that's the length, a typical length for municipal bonds. So that is an appropriate length for a lease that is tied to investment. Article 3B codifies the verbal commitment that had been made from the Board of Water Commissioners to invest in the Pig's Eye River District schematic design of up to $100,000 so we can realize that vision. And Article 7I codifies the water utilities commitments to invest in establishing a parking and entry area for Pig's Eye Park when the water utility moves from the current space they occupy. I'm going to share my screen again and show is this showing Hillcrest again?
Yes, it is. Well, it says Hillcrest Reservoir, SPRWS Board of Water Commissioners.
Okay, I'm going to try that again. My apologies. I am going to attempt to share my screen again. And now I believe I have the correct map up. This shows the change to Exhibit B, which highlights the change in the area that the water utility will be leasing at Pig's Eye and reducing it from upwards of 8 acres to 5.5 acres, which is the minimum that we believe is required in order for them to successfully fulfill their work. The final few things I want to highlight. Article 14A is the area where the termination provision that Councilmember Yang referenced, that if there's a higher or better use that comes up after 5 years, the city has a mechanism to work with the Board of Water Commissioners to reclaim this land and put it to use for parkland. And then finally, provision 4C was a late change where we're specifically calling out that there is a prohibition for any crushing operations and clarifying that we will not, the water utility will not landfill at the leased site. So I think all of those adjustments and improvements made this agreement better and codified some discussions that were happening and that were not necessarily referenced in the agreement with Parks and Recreation and the Board of Water Commissioners. Before I turn it over to General Manager Shea, I do want to note that the water utility has been on site at Pig's Eye for now over 10 years while we've been working to sort this out. And it's important for me to state on the record that as part of entering these agreements, that we will also look back and perform valuation for the use that the water utility has enjoyed for over the past 10 years and settle that up in terms of the parkland diversion requirements as well. So this has been a very prolonged discussion, and it's important that we address all of that at the same time. So unless there's any questions for me, I know General Manager Shea is available as well.
Are there any questions for Mr. Hom? Okay, and Ms. Yang, you had or Mr. Shea had a presentation as well?
I think presentation would be a little strong. Council President Bren Moen. First off, I'm General Manager of St. Paul Regional Water Services, Patrick Shea, and thank you for your time tonight. I'd like to extend a thank you to Council Member and Vice President Yang for her leadership on this. I believe the process has been very well thought out and very deliberative, and I think we've reached a pretty favorable agreement in our goal to serve the public the best we can. This process has provided the opportunity to clarify the importance of soil staging for the customers of St. Paul Regional Water Services. Just to be very frank, we cannot provide clean drinking water without a site in a suitable location like this. So a little background, water utility staff respond to about an average of 140 main breaks per year. And of course, the majority of this occur in the winter when the frost is set in and conditions necessitate that we have to work out in the street and disrupt water service and traffic in the St. Paul Regional Water service area. This is also the time where the soil becomes wet and sloppy and is not able to be put back in the hole that was created by the water main break and its repair. So this soil is then staged at a recycling center where previously dewatered material is then taken from that site and used to make those repairs. So really it's a matter of really time and expense to replace and make these repairs. So just briefly, an extra 20 minutes of drive time can add up to 2 hours per main break. So you extrapolate that over 140 main breaks a year. All this results in traffic being disturbed and residents without water service for extra time. And really kind of the back of a napkin calculation that equates to about an hour extra of lost water service if we're outside of the St. Paul Regional Water Service kind of metropolitan area. It's also, this 20 minutes of drive time actually adds over 20,000 miles of heavy equipment traffic on both St. Paul and Minnesota streets if we were to have to go further outside of our service area. So as part of this process, as both Director Hom and Councilmember Yang explained, we have found suitable and available Board of Water Commissioners property that would be available for alternative public use or park use. And I think that was a real benefit to the public as part of this action. So And again, just to reiterate that tonight's actions are contingent on the board and St. Paul City Council approving the site lease at Hillcrest. So this is kind of, I wouldn't call this the first step, but this is a major step forward, but there's a few more steps to go before this is approved. So I am available for any questions or comments. And again, I'd like to thank Board President Humphrey and Councilmember Yang for her leadership on this. Thank you.
Ms. Yang.
Thanks, Council President. I wanted to express my full gratitude to the Eastside residents and all of the residents who contacted us and spoke up so bold and unapologetically about their wants and needs as we were deliberating this lease agreement, because I truly believe that that is so important for us to do, especially in a community like the East Side, where we are so abundant in culture and so diverse across race and class and gender as well. And also with that, like that beauty, we also know that we live in a system that has historically marginalized folks who look like the East Side community. And so I want to say thank you to the people who really, took a stand and said, we deserve better, because we truly do. And we are here because of you. And so just really grateful in the space today. And I want to encourage folks to continue showing up that way.
Ms. Prince.
Thank you, Council President Brenmon, and thank you, Councilmember Yang, for your incredible leadership on this. I want to also call out that some of the people that we've heard from about this outside of both the East Side and outside of the East Side are two former City Council members, Kiki Sonnen and Tom Diamond, and also Peggy Lynch, who was the executive director of Friends of the Parks and Trails, who got involved in this issue because they were the council members who were here and did the hard work of passing the No Net Loss Charter Amendment. So they have been taking a really close look at what was happening here. And we are all, Peggy, Kiki, Tom, our East Side neighbors are all extremely grateful to Councilmember Yang for her efforts to make this particular park diversion more reflective of the intent of no net loss in our charter. I don't need to go through the terms again that have come out so much better, but two of them that I don't know if we stressed enough were the willingness on the part of Regional Water Services to create a publicly accessible entrance to Pigs Eye Park at the end of Pigs Eye Road with parking spots that will make this part of Pigs Eye accessible to the public as it has never been before, which is huge. And also the contribution of $100,000 to the soon to be begun schematic plan for the East River Passage, which is the portion of the East Side Riverfront that includes Pigs Eye Park. For much of the last century, the East Side Riverfront and Pigs Eye Lake in particular was the city's dump. And it then was a dump, and then it was determined to be a Superfund site, and then we stopped dumping there, thank heavens. And what I appreciate about today's action is that with those investments by the water utility in the entrance to Pigs Eye Park and the contribution to the East River Passage Master Plan, schematic plan, that today's action actually does represent a much brighter future for this part of the East Side. And I, again, Director Ham, General Manager Shea, Councilmember Yang, and all of your staffs that put this agreement together, I am really in your debt. one last final little thing that I talked to Mr. Ham about today that I want to bring up as part of this East Side River, the East River passage of the river, is that the community called to my attention a parcel. It's an 8-acre parcel that is down by the Heron Rookery and seems to be providing some valuable habitat in that location. And so recognizing that this would be a future acquisition, it actually has an estimated market value of $95,000. And the parcel ID number, which I will send to you, Sherry, but I want to get it in the record, is 222-822-41001. And if our Parks Department could look into the potential future acquisition of that site, because it definitely, it could be an important part of that schematic planning that we're doing on the master plan. So if you are willing, Mr. Ham, that would be very meaningful.
Mr. Tolbert.
Sorry, the last part, Councilmember Prince, can you repeat what you were amending into the record?
Well, I'm not amending anything into this plan, but I did want to call attention to, and I did talk to Mr. Ham about this earlier today, that while we're on the subject here, I would like Parks to look into the possibility of future acquisition of a site for that Great River Passage. So I'm not asking the council to vote on that. I'm asking Mr. Ham to look into that.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to clarify to ensure that we all know what we're voting on this. This is just a side. It doesn't have anything to do with.
Yeah,
on your preference to have something done.
It's an important part of the plan that the water utility is investing in.
Mr. Tolbert, you were just getting clarity on that item?
I just wanted to make sure we all knew what we were voting on. It sounded like an amendment was being made, but I guess not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I appreciate that last part too. I'm not familiar with actually what you're talking about, but perhaps in our policy sessions that can surface as well. Any other discussion on this item? So Ms. Yang is moving version 2, which is highlighted in her comments, and as well as Mr. Ham and Mr. Shea. My only thoughts on this are, as we build up our city, we will continue to have challenges with locations and spots to do the municipal work that we do. And I appreciate Ms. Yang's acknowledgement of, Plan B. We talked about this a little bit at the water utility, has an environmental detriment. It ends up costing the water ratepayers more. And so those challenges are going to be, will be in front of us often. I mean, in our city, the dump sites are, they're not on the east side, they're all over the city. But the thing that they happen to have in common is that they're usually between railroad tracks, and they're usually not near homes. And, I think about trucks backing up and the sounds that they make and the impact that it has on residential neighborhoods. And, this not necessarily just isolated to this, but just as we infill with housing and the projects that we want, we also need to be aware that we store our vehicles someplace, we store our salt someplace, we put our compost someplace, we need to put our organics someplace, we need to put our spoils someplace, and it just doesn't disappear. So it's this is the municipal work that we do, and I appreciate the time and effort that went into this because it's multifaceted. There's so many layers to this, and I appreciate Ms. Yang in particular, your leadership on this issue that's not even in your ward. So thank you so much for that. And I will support your version 2 motion as well. Any other discussion? All right, great. Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted as amended.
All right. Mr. Tolbert moves suspension of the rules. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. Rules are suspended. Resolution 21-324, approving a lease agreement between the city and the Board of Water Commissioners to lease a portion of board-owned property at 750 Snelling Avenue South for use by the city's Park and Recreation Department.
And I believe we had reports in the past on these, but do we need a report from Mr. Shea or Mr. Hom on this item? All right. So moved by Ms. Yang. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
Ms. Naker moves suspension of the rules. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. Rules are suspended. Resolution 21-783, approving a liquor on sale Sunday, and a liquor outdoor service area license for Iron Ranger doing business as Iron Ranger located at 1085 Grand Avenue.
And this item, Ms. Naker, we're getting a report from Mr. Najelic.
I don't think we need a report. This just missed the deadline to get on the agenda today, and we're trying to make it possible for small businesses like Iron Ranger to get these things processed as soon as they're ready, and this one is. So,
Okay, wonderful. So that's take that as a motion from Ms. Naker. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
And Ms. Jalali moves suspension of the rules. Roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The rules are suspended. This is a public hearing for ordinance 21-16, granting the application of IO Investments LLC to rezone property at 1053 Dale Street North from R4 one family residential to T2 traditional neighborhood and amending chapter 60 of the legislative code pertaining to the zoning map.
All right, and this is a straightforward rezoning. We had a first reading last week, and the intention was to have second reading public hearing this week, and it just didn't make it on the agenda. But it was noticed in the intention, so we're holding the public hearing on this item, and if it was held online. So we move to close the public hearing.
The public hearing
Hold
will need to
open.
be continued.
Hold
Yes.
open the public hearing till for 1 week.
Yeah.
And then do we vote?
Yes.
Yes. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brendmoen.
Aye.
6 in favor, none opposed. The public hearing is continued to May 26, which would also be the final reading. The legislative hearing officer recommends adoption of the following resolutions as no objections to these recommendations were received. Item 41, RLH VBR 21-25, 1965 Berkeley Avenue. Item 44, RLH TA 21-199, 1435 Cleveland Avenue North. Item 45, RLH TA 21-245, 1726 4th Street East. Item 47, RLH SAO 21-35, 978 Jackson Street. Item 48, RLH TA 21-194, 578 LaFond Avenue. Item 49, RLH TA 21-187, 363 Lawson Avenue East. Item 51, RLH VO 21-13, 857 and 859 Payne Avenue. Item 53, RLH TA 21-117, 545 7th Street West. Item 56, RLH TA 21-201, 587 Virginia Street. Item 57, RLH AR 20-93, securing an emergency boarding. Item 58, RLH AR 20-94, 814 Monoman Avenue. Item 63, RLH AR 21-34, collection of fire certificate of occupancy fees. Item 64, RLH AR 21-35, excessive use of inspection or abatement services. And item 65, RLH AR 21-36, graffiti removal. And again, the motion is to adopt these items.
So moved by Ms. Naker. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearings are closed and the resolutions are adopted. For the following items and no objection to the legislative hearing officer's amended recommendations were received, and therefore she recommends amendment and adoption. Item 42, RLH TA 20-463, 1008 Carroll Avenue. Item 43, RLH TA 21-229, 880 Case Avenue. Item 46, RLH TA 20-667, 1508 Ivy Avenue East. Item 50, RLH TA 21-240, 876 Lawson Avenue East. Item 52, RLH TA 20-461, 1215 Rice Street. Item 54, RLH TA 20-469, 811 Smith Avenue South. Item 55, RLH TA 20-659, 663 3rd Street East. Item 59, RLH AR 20-110, Property Cleanup Services. Item 60, RLH AR 20-111, Property Cleanup Services. Item 61, RLH AR 21-32, Collection of Vacant Building Registration Fees. And item 32, RLH AR 21-33, Securing and/or Emergency Boarding Services. And again, the motion is to amend and adopt.
So moved by Ms. Prince. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearings are closed and the resolutions are adopted as amended. For the following item, the legislative hearing officer's recommendation is to continue the public hearing to July 7th. Item 40, RLH TA 21-216, 971 Arcade Street. And again, the motion is to continue the public hearing to July 7th.
So moved by Ms. Yang. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Tolbert,
Yes.
Yang,
Aye.
Jalali,
Aye.
Naker,
Aye.
Prince,
Aye.
Council President Brenmon.
Aye.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is continued to July 7th.
All right, and I believe that brings us to the bottom of the list and the end of our agenda. Does anyone of my colleagues have news from the wards or items that they'd like to share before we adjourn today? Ms. Yang and then Mr. Tolbert.
Thank you. I do have news, but I need to pull it up really quickly, so I will go last.
Okay, Mr. Tolbert.
I'll just give a shout out. I was able to go look at Como Harbor yesterday, and I know the grand opening is coming soon, but I encourage everybody to go. adults or kids, you will absolutely love it. It's great work by our parks team, Friends of Como Park, and others. It's really awesome. They are on their 6th Sparky right now in history. I learned that yesterday. So, it should be great. So get out there and enjoy it, and it'd be exciting to see it filled with people this summer, hopefully.
I think the other thing they say is that the Sparkies have all been female.
Correction. The first female is the current one.
Oh, okay. So the new Sparky is female. Okay. I knew there was something about that. But
Paying
total.
attention to the person giving this.
But the zoo, continues to transform to a place where you can feel really proud of the way that the animals are kept and displayed for people, and knowing that the animals in a lot of cases, there's seals in the Spark or in the new display that are blind, that could not live in the wild but can manage in this facility. But it is gorgeous, and families and visitors are going to just really love it. So I have not gotten to see like the full reveal. I saw it midway, and it's just beautiful. So good reminder. Thank you.
It's awesome, and you're right. There were 2. I don't know if they were seals or sea lions. I wasn't paying that close of attention. That are blind, that they were doing training exercises with, which is pretty amazing. And I'll tell you, as back in my youth, I saw Sparky as a kid, and I don't know if it's more exciting as a 5-year-old or more exciting as a former young person. So, but get out there. It's great. So
thanks for that reminder. Ms. Yang.
Thanks. I wanted to share the really good news about the State Fair community vaccination site that officially opened today. And they're taking like thousands of new Johnson & Johnson appointments, and you can sign up for it at the mn.gov website. Just look up the Minnesota State Fair vaccination site and you'll find the link there. The site offers the opportunity for anyone 18 and older to get a single dose Johnson & Johnson shot at the facility from May 26th through June 8th. And they're taking walk-ins as well.
Thank you, Ms. Yang. And on that note, the Roy Wilkins Auditorium is taking walk-ins, and they're giving Pfizer shots, which means 12 to 16-year-olds or 12 to 15-year-olds, I guess, are eligible and can walk in, no waiting, which is wonderful. I think they're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but not Monday and Tuesday. Not Friday either, but the information's easily available online. And at last, we got our 15 and 11-month-old child vaccinated. So woohoo. But those 2 sites are big and taking, are easy in, easy out. And then there's also other sites throughout the city. Thanks for being our herald on those sites. It's really important that we get people vaccinated ASAP. We're still losing people and devastating losses to our community. So let's get those shots in our arms and protect ourselves and our loved ones. Any other comments before we go here today? All right, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.